Hey, what seems like it changed the least actually changed the most, and we're talking about the new T100 irons from Titleist. Hey, my name is Kevin. We are here at Yes Golf here in La Habra, California. If you haven't checked us out, our YouTube channel, please like and subscribe because we're gonna get a glimpse of T100, T150, T250, and T350 irons, all from Titleist, new this year. And the T100, like I said, it looks like it didn't change much in those pictures. However, I can count about 5 things that have changed from the previous model of T100. And the first thing that I want to tell you is that it has a little bit more of a muted finish. It's more of a nickel finish. If you look at the SM10 line, they have the Tour Satin and they have the gray finish and the black. The T100 from this year looks more like a gray finish. It's more muted. You can see it from the top line. It's less glare, which I think a lot of better players would prefer. That's the first thing that I want to note. Let's hit one and then tell you the technical differences from last year to this year's. Nice little draw there to start. Good shot there. It's a feel that I would only expect from the best of the best. The T100 has always been having a premium feel on their irons. But what has changed from last year, if you look at the spec sheet right here, the 7-iron loft of the previous generation was a 34 degrees. It was a little bit more traditional, but this year, the 7-iron loft has been strengthened 1 degree, so it's now 33 degrees. It's actually more in line with the modern cavity back irons like P7CB from TaylorMade. And the fact that they've strengthened 1 degree tells you that it's gotten more closer in gap of the lofts with the T150, which we're about to review as well. So T100 and T150, there's only 1 degree of loft difference. So it's actually giving you a more option when it comes to comboing a set. And let me tell you why that's so important. Did you know that 80% of tour pros, and that's not just Titleist pros, have some sort of combo set in their irons, whether it's just 3-iron or 4-iron, they have some sort of combo sets in their irons. So Titleist has seen that transition becoming more accessible for amateurs and public golfers like you and I. So they've made it so that the T100 and T150 combo is becoming more and more seamless. And let me tell you one more thing about that. And because of that, T100 and T150 have the same exact amount of offset, which is awesome. It's so good to hear that because people are not going to see more offset when they go to the longer T150 in their combo sets. If you are thinking about comboing your set with a T100 in the scoring irons and the longer irons having T150, it's going to be more seamless. So that's one thing to note. Another thing to note is the T100, the 3-iron and the 4-iron will feature the muscle channel that was only available on T150. So let me tell you again, so the muscle channel that was only available in the T150 is now becoming available in the 3 and 4-iron in the muscle channel. So if you don't combo it, Titleist T100 is actually comboing it for you. And the reason why Titleist is doing that is because they're seeing more and more pros requesting that muscle channel in the longer iron so that you can get a little bit more height, a little more launch angle, a little bit more forgiveness on your longer irons. But it only comes in the 3 and 4 irons. So if you are not comfortable hitting 5-iron and 6-iron, I would actually think about going 3 through 6 in the T150 and 7 through whatever you need in the pitching or even 9 or W in the T100. That was hit a little bit thin. And this is a perfect segue to tell you about the next thing that's different. And that's this. You may have seen this right here, right behind me. It's actually a little briefcase. We have a whole presentation for you. So if you look at it here, let's see. There you go. So this is a cutout of the T150 right here. But look at the tungsten right over here. this is where the tungsten weights go in the T100 and then T150. Goes in like this. And one of the drawbacks of these videos is that we can't really have you feel these, but here, let me show you this. Not sponsored by Ray-Ban here, but look at this. I'm just gonna put the cutout here. It's at 178 grams. Take a look at how much these tungsten weights weigh. It's about 96 grams. It's 96 grams, so that's a lot of, if you think about it, 178 and 96 grams of tungsten weight in that, it accounts for the majority of tungsten weight in the toe and heel of the club. So what that means is that it's giving you extreme per meter weighting, which expands the sweet spot, allow you to have consistent ball speed throughout your face, especially on the balls that have been hit on the toe and the heel side. So let's see where that hit. See, that was hit extremely low on the face, but because that tungsten weight brings down the center of gravity to the lowest spot of that club face, it still allows you to have a pretty good launch. So T100, even though they had the D18 tungsten weights in the previous year, they've increased the amount of the tungsten, so it's actually launching a little bit higher, even though the loft has been strengthened a degree. So it gives you the consistent flight and yet give you a little bit more forgiveness from the last year. And let's put this back. Thank you, Titleist, for helping us help the viewer see the difference from last year to this year. I'm gonna hit one more time and show you what I feel. There you go. Good shot there. Chunked it a little bit, so it probably shaved a little bit of spin rate, but it has a really good stopping power. I don't know if you've seen that. For it being a little bit of a chunk, it has a really good descent angle into the ground. Another thing, the grooves actually in the scoring irons. So 7 through W, or gap wedge, features a very aggressive grooves that they have incorporated from the Vokey SM10 line. So if you think about it, they've used to have a V-shaped grooves on all of their irons. But this is becoming more of a, not a square because that's illegal, but it's becoming more of a U-shaped for more aggressive grooves in the 7 through W wedges. What that's gonna help you with is not just more spin on your pure shots in the fairways, but what's really going to help you is in those rough and in the wet condition, it's gonna help you to generate consistent spin and not have you hit those flyers in those scoring irons. And if you have hit a flyer in the rough with a short iron, it's the worst feeling in the world because you're hitting it off the rough and it just flies the green, and it gives you what has been a very good chance for birdie. It actually becomes a hard try to salvage a par or even a bogey. So I think that's a huge thing. The 7 iron through W featuring more progressive and also aggressive groove that they have adopted from the Vokey wedge line. So I'm seeing that. I'm actually seeing the ball really being grabbed, even though it's just in the mat, but it feels like it's staying in the face just a tad bit longer. That was very well hit. And when it hits really well, it's just there's no other feeling. And this allows us to tell you the next difference. It's a very subtle difference, but if you take a look at these two right here, the amount of muscle back that's in the new T100, it's actually quite a bit more. So if you put it side by side from last year to this year, you may not be able to see it very much, but you see how the T100 here has a muscle channel, a muscle back that's about this much, and then it shaves off right over here. Where it shaves off, T100 from this year, it actually has risen. So it's almost half of the club. If you almost look at it this way, it looks just like a muscle back. So when you hit that muscle back part of the club right here, it feels just like a muscle back. So it has a really good feel. Again, the amount of muscle back in the iron in the back has increased. And also let me show you from the address line. The one on the left is the new T100 and one on the right is the previous generation. And you can see there's a little less glare in the irons, which is a little bit easier on the eyes. The amount of top line is about the same. It seems like the blade length has increased just a little bit, and that will be just a perceptual thing. But I think longer blade length also speaks to a little bit more forgiveness on the toe and heel part of the club. So that's the fourth thing. Again, just a little thin, which tends to be my miss hits, but I see the ball launching a little bit higher. And let me tell you, a T100, it's something that I probably won't even consider playing because I fall in the camp of, hey, golf is already hard, why make it harder by having a harder club? But T100 from this year, man, it's something that I would even consider adjust a little bit, especially if I'm looking at comboing it with the T150. For me, I would probably go from like a 4-iron, 5-iron, 6-iron in the T150 so I can have a little bit more tungsten because T150 is going to have even more tungsten than T100 and have that muscle channel help me and the miss hits that are low, hit low on the face just like that, and have the 7 through gap wedge so that I can capitalize on a premium feel that a muscle back, almost a muscle back would give you, because it also features the same amount of offset, very similar gapping in the lofts, so I won't even have to strengthen the loft or gap it in a way, but it's gonna fall really progressively, really, really nice. Obviously, for a set like this, you will wanna come and get fitted here at Yes Golf, and we'll leave a link in the description where you can do that and make a reservation for that. But also you can go to our website, yesgolfshop.com, and we're gonna actually give you an option to do a combo set right there. So it's really easy for you. The last thing that I wanna mention is the shaft. Stock shaft comes in the True Temper AMT white, which is the low launching shaft. It feels really sturdy. I don't know if it's just a graphic change or actually the shaft has changed a little bit, but it feels really, really solid. But obviously for something like this, you want to get a shaft that feels right for you. If you have been playing another shaft, just put another shaft in that option and then get that Project X, KBS Tour. All of those are available in the yesgolfshop.com. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Titleist New Irons. Like and subscribe so we can help you see our next video, which is the T250. We'll see you next time.